If you know me even a little bit, you know I gotta talk about it. If you're friends with a Cubs fan, just give them a hug. They're gonna need it. By Christmas, the Cubs are not going to be the same. They are going to look completely different right down to the organist. Sit tight, folks. This one's going to be interesting. Before I get started, I just want to point out something. Joe Maddon is going to get a statue outside of Wrigley. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. He broke the biggest drought in the history of American sports by having fun. And just having fun with his guys and enjoying his job. And he gave us 4 years and 8 months of really, really, really good and fun baseball. But Theo and the head honchos, they warned him at the beginning of the year, Joe, if you don't produce results, we're letting you go. And that's what happened. I will not discredit Joe Maddon for what he's done. He did his job by being himself, and it worked to a point. You can't lose 9 straight games. More importantly, you can't lose 9 straight games in September. Like, are you kidding me? It was hard to watch. It got to a point where I couldn't even watch games anymore. And if you know me, you know that's bad. I managed to watch part of the final game where Zobrist striked out Yachty. That was pretty cool, but this is the end of what will probably be the best era in Cubs history. We're losing Joe, who brought us up from the ashes. We don't even have WGN anymore. That's gone. Brand new network. Len and JD are staying, thank God. But even Gary Pressey's retiring. Like, we don't even have our organist anymore. I can't imagine going to a Cubs game without Gary strumming away at the organ during pregame. He has his own little concert pregame, and it's really nice. I am very scared for what's going to come with player personnel. Theo made it very clear in his season-ending press conference, as he makes the point to do every year, whether we win the World Series or miss the postseason. He always has a 90-minute presser on how he's going to change the team. And he said, and this line scared me, is hold on to your hats if you haven't heard this yet. My biggest mistake these last 2 or 3 seasons is keeping our core together. Heads are going to roll. It's just a matter of whose. The great thing about this team is that pretty much everybody's a fan favorite. It's really nice that way, but there's not enough room for everybody. Especially with Castellanos coming into the picture in August. Jason Hayward's contract expires. We're not going to re-sign him. I don't expect us to re-sign him. Castellanos is going to take his place in right. Center field is probably our most vulnerable position because the way Almora played this year, it just wasn't up to his old numbers. And I love Almora. I love him more than anybody. But he's had a really bad year, and I don't see him staying. And with Hayward gone, that really doesn't give us anything. Now, the one thing we need to focus on is Nico Horner. He's the rookie who came up. He skipped AAA. He is the first 2018 draft pick to hit the majors, and he hit 300, and he had double-digit RBI. I think he had as many RBI as games he played, and he had 4 or 5 home runs, which was amazing. And he didn't have an error until we were basically already out of the race. So he played good ball, and he put up those numbers in the 8th spot in the order. Like, that's just ridiculous. We got to hold on to this kid. Here is what's going to happen. In order to get young talent, you got to trade away some of your veterans. You got to give some of them up. In my professional opinion, let's see what names I can rattle off here. Hayward's gone for sure, in my eyes, so I'm not going to bring him up in this, but Schwarber, Bryant, Baez, Contreras. Those 4 people. At least, best case scenario, one of them gets traded. And I think it's gonna be Bryant. I love Chris. I love them all. Well, I don't like Russell or Hap, but I'll get to that later. I love Chris. He won MVP for a reason. He was the guy who threw the final out to Rizzo over at first. And he's KB. You can't not like him, but Bryant and Baez. If I have to choose one of them to keep and one of them to get rid of, I'm going to keep Javi and I'm going to let go of Chris. Chris's numbers have dropped these last 2 seasons, mainly because of injuries. Javi, his numbers just get better, and he can play multiple positions, and he's just insane. In my opinion, he had the MVP stolen from him by Christian Yelich, but that is a different video for a different day. We can afford to trade Bryant for other pieces. Rumors right now are that he'll be traded to the Rangers. The Rangers, I don't know who they have that's really going to help us, except maybe Joey Gallo, but his average is... he hits like crazy. Whenever he hits the ball, it's either in the gap in the outfield for a double, or it's 450 feet over the fence. But his average just gets above 200 every year. It's not good. If Bryant leaves, we can move Javi over to third. Javi and Bodie can do third, and then shortstop can be Javi and Horner, and then second base can be Bodie, Horner. We got 3 or 4 infielders that we can shuffle between positions. I don't see us re-signing Addison Russell. He's not worth a dime. And Ian Happ, every time the analysts start dogging on him, he gets hot. He either hits home run after home run, or he swings and misses at changeups right down the pipe. And he took playing time away from Almora, and it's probably mostly because of Happ that Almora will be gone, because Almora didn't get playing time. But please, Chicago Cubs, if you are watching this, do not get rid of Schwarber. His numbers are way too good to ignore. I know that he's more of a core guy and more of a favorite among the front office, and that might be why you want to cut ties with him, but please don't. He gets better every year. His opposite field home run numbers skyrocketed. I think I've seen him hit more opposite field homers than non-opposite field homers in the last 2 or 3 months of the season. It was ridiculous. It is so hard for me to talk about this because the Cubs and their good stretch of play these last 5 years has really helped my family through some tough times. I will do another separate video on that. That's a story time I've had in my back pocket for a while. I'll share that with you guys one day, but that's too big of a conversation to go into during this video. I'm trying to think realistically while also trying to think best case scenario. Here is how I see our opening day lineup with the people that we will have left, not including trades, not including people we would gain from trades, but I'm excluding Bryant from this because he's going to be gone. Hayward's going to be gone. I hope Happ and Russell are gone. But I see our opening day lineup as Schwarber in left, Nico Horner in center, because Horner can play center. He could solve our center field problem. And our leadoff problem. Nico Horner could solve half of our problems. So there's no way we should get rid of him. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Castellanos in right field. Third base, Javi. Shortstop, Bodie. Second... who does that leave for second base? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what this team's going to look like. I don't want this to end. It's going to be so much different. Like, it won't even feel the same. In my professional opinion, the only 2 men on this team that are safe are Anthony Rizzo and Yu Darvish. I will explain. Anthony Rizzo is the captain. He has been with the team since that 100 loss season. He's been on both sides of 100 game seasons, and he puts up, no matter how good the Cubs are doing, Rizzo puts up triple-digit RBI every year. Granted, he only got 94 this year, but that's because he wasn't healthy for stretches. Rizzo's the guy that we built around. He is the only man left from that 100 loss season. The only 2 people that we had left from that 100-loss season when we won the World Series were Anthony Rizzo and Travis Wood. I miss Travis Wood. I'm just going to throw that out there. He was a great pitcher. And then there's Yu Darvish. I will admit that me, along with the rest of my family, we did not like Yu Darvish when he started out. He put up really bad numbers. He was hurt the second half of the year when we signed him. Last year or 2 years ago, I can't even remember. But this year, he was our best pitcher once he settled in. He should have won a lot more games because the bullpen blew a lot of his really good starts. He struck out 14 guys in one game and we lost. See, that's the other thing. We've got to learn to hold on to a lead with our bullpen. The bullpen has been a weakness since forever. The only reason we won the series is because we pitched Chapman half the time. And look at him now. We blew him out. John Lester's getting old. I'm just going to say it. He has less and less in the tank every year. He had a really bad... He started off the season really well. He led the league in ERA right before Hyun-Jin Ryu with the Dodgers did for his first 5 or 6 starts, and then he kind of fell off and he never really recovered. Cole Hamels, Jose Quintana, they had meh seasons. Kyle Hendricks, he did better at the end of the year, but at the beginning of the year he really struggled. I honestly think Lester will be gone. And I hate to say that anyone on this team that I love so much will be gone, but I'm being realistic. I need to face facts. Bryant's going to be gone. Hayward's going to be gone. Lester will probably be gone. We might even lose Contreras. The way Victor Caratini played when Contreras was hurt, Caratini could be an everyday starter. He really could. I love Caratini. He's one of the best backup catchers in the league. And if you homer 2 times in one game off of Jacob deGrom, then that's going to win you some points. I don't know, guys. It's bad. And I haven't even gotten to the most important part of the video yet, so I suppose I will. Who is going to fill the shoes of Joe Maddon? Now, I have a lot of things to say about this, and I'm going to try and shorten it up best I can. The most popular name throughout the season was Joe Girardi. He's a he's an Illinois native. He went to Northwestern. He played catcher for the Cubs for a majority of his career. And he's stated time and again, including recently, that he'd like to manage the team. But there are some problems with Girardi. He also wants to manage the 2020 Olympic team in Tokyo. And that could cause priority issues. And then there's the fact that he's not really that good at relating to younger guys. From an article that I read. I've been reading a lot of sports articles this last week or so. Girardi doesn't have the best track record with young guys, and that's not going to be good with us. I'm not saying he'd be a bad manager. I'd love to have Girardi as manager, but that's one thing we should probably keep in mind. And then there's the new favorite, David Ross. Grandpa Ross. Who doesn't love him? He's great. He was the fan favorite. Backup catchers have the best resumes when it comes to being a manager. I'm not denying at all that Ross would be a fantastic manager. He will be a fantastic MLB manager. It just might be too soon. And he knows almost that entire team. He knows Rizzo, he knows Bryant, he knows everybody. Almost everybody. And that could be a problem. He might treat some guys, well, here's the thing. Ross did a better job than Maddon, according to players and executives. Ross did a better job of laying the hammer down on younger guys and setting them straight and just putting them in their place. Maddon didn't do that as much as Ross did. But that could cause some problems if Ross and Rizzo or Ross and Bryant or Ross and any of the other veterans that knew him got into an argument. That could cause some serious problems. My heart is telling me that I would absolutely love to have David Ross as manager today. But my head is telling me that's a bad idea. This is going to be the most uncertain year in Cubs history. And we need a manager who, first of all, knows the team well enough to take over from Maddon. Maybe use bits and pieces of his style to move forward. And we have to make postseason next year, or we're going to lose up the momentum that we've built these last 5 years. Honestly, I think our best candidate at this point is bench coach Mark Loretta. Loretta was not one of Maddon's guys. He's a front office guy. The front office handpicked him themselves. He has a very strong relationship with the front office. They've been talking to him about this job for years. I think Mark Loretta would be a fantastic coach. He has good relationships with the players. He's been under Madden for a while, well, a year or two. He knows his style, he knows this team, he knows how it works. I think he could do a great job, and he can help us establish a better leadoff hitter. Another candidate that kind of turned my head a little bit is Carlos Beltran, longtime ball player. I don't really know much about him, but I know his name carries some weight, and I think Carlos Beltran would be a good manager. But I don't want a first-time manager for this job. Oh, it's so hard with Ross because he's so likable and he's got so many good qualities for the job. But I think it's too soon for him. I want Ross to manage us one day, just not right now. The one candidate that I really, really don't like is first base coach Will Venable. I barely know the guy. I just don't see it. I don't see Venable being a manager for us. I don't see it. I don't like it. But the three candidates that have been granted an interview for sure, the Cubs have publicly stated they will give them an interview, is David Ross, Mark Loretta, and Will Venable. I don't like Venable as an option at all. I think Girardi and Ross would both be fantastic candidates. There are so many moving pieces and so many things that are going to change this offseason, and if we want any shot of getting past our own division, for God's sake, and then getting past the Dodgers in the playoffs. Heck, the Braves might be better than the Dodgers next year, the way they've been playing. Then, if we even get to a World Series, we have to beat either the Astros, the Yankees, the Twins, the Red Sox. The American League has had such a huge advantage in the World Series. I don't even understand how we topped Cleveland back in 2016. But one thing's for sure, nothing is going to be the same. Things are going to be different. We're going to lose fan favorites, and it's going to suck. The process is going to suck. If we want this to pay off, we got to do it right. We got to choose the best candidate for the manager job. We got to choose which players we're going to hold on to and trust with our team, and which players we need to either let go of or use as trade chips to get better pieces for mainly our bullpen. Don't even get me started on the bullpen. I'm scared. I really am. I've been thinking about making this video for a while, and I still don't have the right words to describe what I'm feeling, but there's always that time right when baseball season's over that me, along with the rest of my family, we feel like we're in kind of a funk because we love this team so much. We base our lives around this team. We base our happiness around this team, and we just want to see it succeed. And with Joe gone, and with probably half of our fan favorites gone, it's going to be hard. But the Cubs will endure. I was only 14 when the Cubs won the series. I'm only 17 now. I can wait another 60 years, just as long as I get to see another one. So thank you, Cubbies, for keeping me and my family afloat with your baseball these last few years. You really helped us a lot, and I wish you the best of luck.